The Mahabharata is the world's longest epic poem, called the Fifth Veda. It's a multi-generational puzzle, built over centuries by different hands. Standard tradition attributes the entire work to a single sage named Ved Vyasa, often pictured dictating the poem in its entirety. However, Vyasa is a functional title given to compilers of knowledge. The version we recognize today was compiled by Krishna Dwaipayana, the 28th person to hold that title. Dwaipayana's original contribution represented only a fraction of the 100,000 verses found in modern editions. Unlocking the origins of the text requires a method similar to an archaeological dig, separating 3 distinct layers of composition added over the course of history. The foundational layer contains 8,800 verses. When the later additions are removed, this core shatters into a direct account of a regional power struggle. Embedded within these oldest verses are astronomical observations that allow researchers to date the events to a specific ancient period. These observations rely on 27 lunar mansions, or nakshatras. This system predates the 12-sign zodiac that would define later Indian astrology. This layer describes warfare with brutal realism. It records that the warrior Abhimanyu was not simply defeated by a complex battle strategy, but executed in a targeted revenge killing by the son of Dushasana. This initial layer functions as a historical chronicle of a violent conflict, recorded before the more mythological editions of later centuries. As the epic was recited over generations, it expanded to 24,000 verses. This second layer incorporated complex biological legends into the royal line. The text describes Queen Gandhari remaining pregnant for 2 full years without entering labor. According to the account, she eventually delivered a mass of flesh. Scribes record that this mass was divided into 101 pieces and placed in individual vessels for incubation. This process resulted in the birth of the 100 Kaurava brothers and their sister, Dusala. By recording these specific physical details of non-traditional births and external incubation, the scribes of this second layer codified rare biological events as divine lineage markers for the ruling class. The final expansion reached 100,000 verses. The scope of the conflict grew into a global war governed by strict numerical patterns. The text became structured around the number 18, an 18-day war, 18 total armies, and 18 chapters of the Gita. The geographic scale of the narrative widened to include various foreign entities. Specific mentions of Greek and Roman warriors appear in the descriptions of the Kurukshetra battlefield. These additions demonstrate that the poem was updated over centuries to include the major powers of the author's own time. This layer also introduces the Brahmastra. The poem describes a weapon producing a blast and toxic fallout that mirrors the effects of a nuclear strike. The ruins at Mohenjo-Daro are often cited in discussions of these passages, as some researchers point to evidence of radiation in the ancient brickwork. Layer 3 shows a society projecting its own fears of total annihilation back onto its oldest legends. Through this cumulative growth, the Mahabharata has become a time capsule containing thousands of years of human thought. The text contains characters that reflect this long perspective. Barbaric, a warrior whose severed head was placed on a hill, was forced to watch the entire war from a distance. Ashwatthama provides another perspective. Cursed for using the Brahmatrastra, he is described as a man forced to wander the earth with festering wounds until the end of time. These immortal witnesses mirror the text itself. Like them, the poem has watched history unfold, carrying the weight and the trauma of each era that added to its verses. The Mahabharata's survival serves as a record of our species. It is an enduring mirror reflecting the evolving fears and knowledge of humanity.